sky blue water and magnificent white villas on a rocky landscape, a world-famous casino, expensive sports cars, even more expensive luxury yachts, residences and meeting places of the rich and beautiful. Monaco, the world's second smallest city-state after the Vatican. At just under 2 square kilometers, Monaco has the highest population density of any state in the world, with a population of 38,000. %80 of the inhabitants come from abroad. One of the reasons is undoubtedly the absence of direct taxation, which makes the principality a true tax haven. There is neither income tax nor taxation of wealth. To benefit from this paradise, a residence in Monaco is required. However, obtaining a permanent right of residence is not easy. A sum of 400,000 euros must be deposited with a Monaco bank. In addition, a property worth at least 700,000 euros must be purchased. A difficult undertaking, the square meter of living space costs an average of 48,000 euros. For comparison, in London the square meter costs 15,000 and in Paris 10,000 euros. However, citizenship is only granted to those who have rendered outstanding services to the state of Monaco. The final decision lies with the reigning prince himself. Along the centrally located Marina Port Hercule, a road leads in the direction of the city-state's most famous district, Monte Carlo. The heart of the district is the Place du Casino. At the eastern end stands the world-famous palatial Casino Monte Carlo with its 2 characteristic towers. It was built in 1863 when the Principality was looking for new sources of revenue to escape bankruptcy. To the right of the casino is the Hôtel de Paris. The revenues from gambling were so high that not only could the state budget be covered, but direct taxes were also abolished as early as 1869. In the entrance area of the casino, visitors are greeted by a bronze sculpture of Luck holding a cornucopia in its hands. The main hall is the atrium with its 28 columns. Every few months, the hall is transformed by different artists. Currently, an oversized roulette game is installed. On the left side of the lobby is the entrance to a series of game rooms. Most are open to the public for an entrance fee of 10 euros. However, selected private rooms are reserved exclusively for the player elite. In the course of the casino construction, the first luxury hotels were also built. The Hôtel de Paris is the chicest address in Monaco and is one of the leading hotels of the world. Only 374 other hotels may count themselves on the list. With the superior room with courtyard view from 405 euros per night to the Diamond Suite Princess Grace from 30,000 euros, several room options are available. A crosswalk leads towards the fashion district 1 Monte Carlo. The 1 Monte Carlo complex is a major new development, which was completed in 2019. It includes 24 designer boutiques, 37 luxury apartments, and 9 floors of office space. The 7 buildings are connected by the Promenade Princesse Charlene, a pedestrian area, designed to be transparent and green. In 1879, the landscape architect Edouard André returned from a botanical expedition in Central and Latin America. Inspired by the impressive rainforests of the Amazon, he began to redesign Monaco's green spaces and created the exotic sculpture garden La Petite Afrique. The park, which directly adjoins the casino gardens and terraces, is intended to represent the lushness of the tropics and serve as a green oasis in the heart of Monte Carlo. He used hardy subtropical plants for the design due to the harsh winters. With waterfalls and ponds, he created a lush, humid environment. Additional sculptures from Zimbabwe were later placed along the garden's winding paths. Back at the Central Harbor is one of the most exclusive yacht clubs in the world. Founded in 1953 by Prince Rainier and presided over by Prince Sovereign Albert II since 1984, the Yacht Club de Monaco brings together more than 2,500 members from 80 nationalities. A quarter of the owners of the largest yachts in the world are members of the Monaco Club. The current clubhouse in the shape of a liner was opened in 2014. It was designed by the British architect Norman Foster and cost almost 140 million euros. The history of Monaco is closely linked to the Grimaldis, a noble ruling family originally from Genoa. Once Francesco Grimaldi conquered a Neapolitan fortress on the rock of today's Monaco in 1297. According to legend, he gained access by disguising himself as a monk. The protruding rock was a strategically important point to control the shipping traffic in the Mediterranean. The Grimaldis capitalized on this position. They levied a toll on ships that wanted to sail past Monaco in the direction of Genoa. The toll revenues allowed the Grimaldis to establish themselves politically and economically. Because of Monaco's advantageous location, the kingdoms of Spain and France courted the Grimaldis' favor. After changing alliances, once with the Spanish and another time with the French crown, the small state finally tied itself firmly to France starting in the 17th century. In 1861, the state finally regained its independence, but in return had to cede 95% of its territory to neighboring France. After the small state initially had problems with a functioning state budget, the foundation stone for Monegasque wealth in modern times was laid just 2 years later with the opening of the casino. To this day, Monaco is still ruled by a prince, making the city-state the oldest monarchy in Europe. All regents have taken the name of the House of Grimaldi, although some have belonged to other families. The Treaty of Versailles of 1919 stipulated that the Grimaldis could appoint an heir to the throne by adoption to preserve their dynasty, and thus the state would not fall to France. Even today, the fortress conquered by Francesco Grimaldi is the official address of the Prince of Monaco. Currently, the palace is inhabited by Prince Albert II and his wife Princess Charlene. In the 17th century, the old fortress was extensively expanded and restored. Henceforth, most of the medieval construction was to be covered by a Renaissance facade. In 1793, during the French Revolution, revolutionaries invaded the prince's palace and looted its valuables. In 1910, the palace was stormed again during the Monegasque Revolution, after which the prince announced the end of the absolute monarchy. In 1956, the wedding between Rainier III and Hollywood star Grace Kelly brought new glitz and glamour to the principality. The new princess's appearance in the media made Monaco a stomping ground for the rich and famous. When Rainier died of pneumonia in 2005 at the age of 81, the office of Prince of Monaco passed to his son, Prince Albert II. Rainier was buried in the tombs of Notre Dame Immaculée Cathedral, not far from the Prince's Palace, where the previous princes of the House of Grimaldi already rested. Built of white stone in Roman Byzantine style, the cathedral stands on the site of a former church dating back to 1321 and is the seat of the Archbishop of Monaco. In 1868, the principality decided to split the territory from the Diocese of Nice and demolish the Church of St. Nicholas, despite its 600-year history. Then, in the following 7 years, the current cathedral was built. On the coast, a path leads towards the Oceanographic Museum of Monaco. The museum is considered the most prestigious institute of oceanography in Europe. The imposing building was built in 1889 and financed by Prince Albert I, who was interested in oceanography. Prince Albert devoted most of his life to marine research and led a number of scientific campaigns. On 6,500 square meters, the museum displays colorful coral reefs, rare seahorses, jellyfish, reef sharks, and other sea creatures. In addition, visitors will find skeletons of marine mammals, shell collections, animal replicas, and old expedition equipment. A winding path leads through the adjacent park with views of the Fontvieille District, towards the south of the principality. Unlike the other districts of Monacoville, Monte Carlo, and La Condamine, Fontvieille is a completely artificial terrain. To counteract the chronic lack of building land in densely populated Monaco, new land was reclaimed from the sea in 1966. The district thus represents the youngest part of the small state. A one-room apartment here costs 3 million euros. On the southern slope of the Rock of Monaco is also the Zoo of the Principality, which was opened in 1954 by Rainier III. The zoo is 1 hectare in size and extends over 4 levels on the rock. The zoo is characterized by the fact that it receives only surrendered animals, or animals confiscated by customs. None of the animals have been purchased. Currently, it houses about 250 animals of 50 different species,